Yummy, doesn't that look good? Well, that's a pumpkin pie. Hi everyone, that's what we're making today, but it's not just a regular pumpkin pie. This is an impossible pumpkin pie. It doesn't have a crust. Look at how yummy that looks. And it was easy to make. So let's get our stuff together and make it right now. We're going to need some pumpkin stuff, some evaporated milk, 15 ounces of pumpkin puree, and a half cup of Bisquick or whatever you've got. Some sugar, 2 eggs, a couple tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of vanilla. And we need some pumpkin spice, so we're going to make it ourselves. That's cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves. On to pie making. Well, we need a small bowl because we got to make our pumpkin spice to go into our pumpkin. And it's real simple. It is not difficult at all. Sometimes you got to play around with everything. But I've got 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And if you want to make more of this, by all means, go ahead. I found I probably should have halved the recipe again, just to give it a really good spice, but it depends on what you like. But we're also throwing in a half teaspoon of ginger. Next up, another half teaspoon of nutmeg. And then our last ingredient, because this is not hard, is a kind of 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and I probably should have put a little extra in. I'm not a huge fan of cloves, but in this case I should have. So we're just going to mix this all up. Mix, 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 mix. Get out all the bumps that we can. And when we're done, it should look something like that. Cool. I don't have to go to the store and buy pumpkin spice. Artillery out, our hand mixer, a spatula. We'll put all that together. We need a big bowl to mix our pie into. And let's go. First up, 3/4 cup of sugar, followed by our crust, which is a half cup of Bisquick or whatever you got. 2 tablespoons of softened butter. I threw mine in the microwave for 30 seconds, so it's kind of melty. 2 eggs. 1 and 2. That's going to hold it all together. Our pumpkin pie filling. I grabbed my can opener. I don't know why this can wouldn't open. Maybe I need another can opener. I've only had this for 15 years. So, after struggling with it to get it open, I don't know. I just got a knife and just pried the lid up. Not the greatest thing in the world, but you know, you have to. And then I couldn't get the pumpkin to come out. Couple minutes and a spatula later, we got it all out. Looking good so far. Next up, evaporated milk. Plop, 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 plop. In she goes. Yummy. This is coming together pretty cool. Our pumpkin spice, our homemade pumpkin spice. I had probably 3/4 teaspoon left over. And like I said, it needed a little extra spice. I should have just dumped the whole thing we made in. Vanilla. My daughter's homemade vanilla, which is fantastic. If you ever want homemade vanilla, it actually ends up a little cheaper than the stuff you buy in the store, especially if you use a lot of it, which we do. Only problem is it takes about a year to come together, but oh, it's so worth it. So we've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla in there, but we're not done. It's time to throw the plug in the wall and get our mixer ready to go. But first I'm going to kind of mush I'm going to mush down the cinnamon because if not, it'll stick to the sides and blow all over the place. So we'll give it a start before we bring out our mixer. Mixer on. It's going to be about 2 minutes of nice mixing at a decent speed. You know, doesn't have to be super fast. You want to incorporate everything and get it nice and mixed. So about 2 minutes should do, right? And there, looks good so far. It looks kind of runny. I was a little concerned about that at first. So we're going to take this now, put it aside. Well, not really put it aside. We're going to bring out our pie baking dish. Spray her up a little bit or grease it however you want. I just figure that's a lot quicker. And now in goes our pumpkin, right into the pie dish. And of course there's lots left over. We're not letting that get away. That's going into the pie in a second. That's what spatulas are for. Scrape out as much as you can. It's probably, by the time you're done scraping it all, you've got like a quarter to a third of a cup still in the bowl. Don't let that go to waste. Yummy. Looking good. Now we just got to put it in the oven. 350 for 55 to 60 minutes. You might want to rotate it halfway through in the oven too. And when we're done, well, it's been sitting out of the oven for about 5 minutes, so it's still pretty hot, but it was all poofy and it unpoofed. So it looks like that. It was really funny. It looked like a dome top when we started. So here you have it. See how nice and clean it comes out of the pie? Just like a pumpkin pie. We got a fork. We're ready to go. But first, I wanted to show you. This is my last piece. This is all I got left. And I want to show you the pie. See the bottom and the sides? That's it for a crust, but it holds together like a pie. It is truly an impossible one. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.